Second fight on this card, Jessica Andrade against Rose Namajunas. Right, so obviously this is a rematch from a title fight that these guys had last year. They had this fight on May 11. May 11. So that's literally a year and 2 months. 14 months ago, these two fought for the women's strawweight title. And Rose Namajunas was defending her belt, and Jessica Andrade knocked her out in the second round with a slam. You don't see people get knocked out very often with a slam in MMA, full stop, let alone women's MMA. Rose Namajunas has talked about the mental strain she felt. She felt like a weight on her shoulders, being the champion. And she mentioned that it was almost like a relief once she lost the belt for her. It was almost like a relief for her once she lost the belt. I just couldn't see where this mental strain was the first time these two girls fought, because Rose Namajunas was beating the living shit out of Jessica Andrade. She was beating the piss out of her. Honestly, for the first round, like I just watched this fight this week, a couple of days ago, and I didn't remember Rose being that dominant. Maybe because obviously I remembered how the fight ended. But when I watched this fight again, I thought to myself, fucking hell, Rose was beating her ass. I was surprised by it. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's a one major key difference between the first time these girls fought and the rematch. So the first time was obviously a title fight, so it's 5 rounds, and the rematch is a 3-round fight. So I don't know whether that's going to pay a difference in the game plan of both of these fighters. I can't see how it can affect Jessica Andrade's plan, because for me, Jessica Andrade, the only real option she has is to push forward, try to push Rose Namajunas against the cage, try to secure a takedown and try and ground and pound her, because I can't see how Jessica Andrade is going to beat Rose Namajunas in a stand-up fight. Do you know what I mean? Rose Namajunas was lighting the shit up. No, it was lighting no, that's not even. Was lighting her up. She was lighting Jessica Andrade up, and like the way she lost that first fight was just like a random act. It was just a like you wouldn't expect a fight to end like that, but the reason it ended was because of Rose's tactic when Jessica Andrade was able to close the distance and get her hooks in and try and take Rose down. So the plan was, like, she didn't actually get the hooks in. When she was trying to get the hooks in, Rose always grabbed one of the arms and put it behind Jessica's back and try to get the Kimura. And that was what led to Jessica picking her up and slamming her. Now, that plan seemed to be working effectively because she used that method, that technique, to get out of Jessica Andrade just takedown attempt multiple times in the first round. So I don't know whether Rose and Trevor Whitman are going to, alter that plan every time Jessica Andrade tries to get the takedown. But what I do think is the way Rose Namajunas fought in that fight, even though she was talking about the mental kind of strain she was under with the weight of being a champion, I think Rose Namajunas beats Jessica Andrade. I think it will be a 3-round fight, and I think Rose will just win each of the rounds. The only thing that I'm a little bit wary of is the fact that, unfortunately, Rose has lost some family members over the last couple of months because of coronavirus. And this is just an obscure observation, and it might not have anything to do with anything. But I was watching Embedded earlier on today, and they showed Rose talking to her mum on the phone, and she was close, if not, she was in tears. Now, I don't know, obviously, what they spoke about prior to her, prior to the UFC Embedded team filming her, have that little snippet of a conversation. But Rose is definitely a person that wears her heart on her sleeves. She's got a tremendously strong will, but she wears her heart on her sleeve, and I don't know whether the fact that she wears her heart on her sleeve plays games with her mentally, and it affects the way she's able to translate the technique that she has when it comes to fight night against an opponent. I don't know whether that has an impact on how well she performs on fight night. I don't think it will have an impact on her on Saturday, just because she said she was, under, some level of mental kind of strain the first time these girls fought. And like I said, she was beating the shit out of Andrade the first time they fought. I just see Rose Namajunas just being too slick on the feet, using her footwork, her movement, her distance control. She's accurate when she strikes. You never know. She might, because obviously Andrade was knocked out by Weili Zhang, innit? Let me just check, because I remember watching that fight and it lasted about a minute or so, 42 seconds. Yeah, knee and punches. So Andrade can be hurt. And while I'm sat here saying I don't know whether Rose has the power to knock Andrade out, she had the power to knock Joanna out. Do you know what I mean? So she might get the finish, but I just see Rose winning, and I don't know whether it's just because I'm a fan of Rose's, and I'm not gonna lie, I want her to win. I haven't had a look at the odds for this fight. I'd assume Rose is the favourite, just because of that. Even though she lost the first fight, the way the first fight was going, she was just all over. She was all over Jessica. But yeah, I predict Rose to win this in 3 rounds, and I really want to see Rose against Weili Zhang for the title. I think that'll be a really good fight. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Who do you think is going to win this fight? How do you think it's going to play out? What do you think of what I've just said? Feel free to share your opinions. Share this with a friend if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on my Peter Yan and Jose Aldo video.